Kyle and I are like tangent kings, and the thing is like when there's only two of you on here, you can talk for hours. And so he and I are supposed to be like writing, you know, and we tell our girlfriends and wives that we're just gonna like hop on this thing. We'll be like 30, 45 minutes, 2 hours later. I'm like, oh, right. You haven't even fucking talked about the script yet. Bad. It's bad. We did some good shit though, I assume.
You know, we've talked an awful lot about a lot of moods and their reflections in terms of music. But now we come to a mood that is the product of our present generation.
My favorite character in our show, and I just posted about it on Instagram, is Big Bird. That was my favorite character in our entire movie. Not myself, not Jeff. Like, Big Bird is something that we just texted back and forth about, and we were like, I think this would be great.
Did you just say Big Bird?
Big Bird with an E.
Hold on, where does the E go?
In bird.
Hi, Big Bird.
Big Bird is essentially our big worm.
I don't want to have to fuck you up, Smokey. Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions.
This character who has dominion over things and pops in and says hilarious things and then goes away for a little bit and pops in.
Ooh, hold up now. Who is this sexy ass light skin? Come on, slow your roll, you vanilla Tootsie Pop.
You just say that to strangers?
Initially,
right?
Big Bird just walked into a scene. Like it was just like, you know, Big Bird was not initially there and then was added for an extra spice. And then as like almost instantly, like the more you grow Big Bird, the more crucial and powerful Big Bird is to the whole plot. And eventually it is so crucial now. Like if Big Bird wasn't there, so many problems wouldn't have been resolved in a way that I would find satisfying or fun or interesting at all. Right. So there's so many dimensions to Big Bird.
Yeah, I can be loquacious at times.
Oh, loquacious. That can be the name of our firstborn king.
I bet you can get loquacious.
Oh, Big Bird's good with the tongue.
But the fear being when you hand somebody the script and say, I like you for Big Bird, or like sending it to somebody and say, I like you for Tamika. I was so nervous and still am about how does that person as an actor interpret my perception of them by saying you could play this. And also, what do they think my intention was by writing it? And will they give me the benefit of the doubt to come back to me and say, this portrayal is offensive or is demeaning or is reductive to who I am or what I see in the world, and you need to fix that. Will they come back to me and say that, or will they go, fuck Jeff, he just writes shit, he writes stereotypes, he fucking hates black women, you know, like,
yeah.
I don't want to be stuck there, and I'm afraid of the internet.
I would definitely say that I have found the best way to navigate that, at least for me, is to sort of put it out there.
I go by the name of RONVE. Some people call me Vay, RONVE. Some people think Ron is my first name and Vay is my last name. That ain't it.
If it's a work in progress, I like to let folks know from the jump.
Coming live from 15 minutes outside where they ride by, expecting them blue lights behind.
Listen, we working on this, and I might get some things wrong, but and if you do have any feedback, I'm completely open to it, because I do want this particular role to be the best that it could be within, you know, what we're doing, and then it's just learning then how to sift through the notes.
The greatest who never made it, and fathers hesitated, so them and their offspring is separated, but we.
Because what you then sometimes what you'll find is like what you don't want is like a bunch of people saying that that bit part needs to be a little bit more prevalent, and the show needs to be about Big Bird now, and you know, oh, that's not what the show is about.
I'm Big Bird, like Sesame Street. Don't forget it.
There's a way to humanize Big Bird in a way that still doesn't take away from from who the show is about, but there's a way to humanize that character.
I keep it classy. Focus on tomorrow, never on last week.
I just try to stay open and just stay transparent. Perfect example, Kyle knows we had a character in Once Upon a Rhyme called, we have a character named Miss Morgan.
Yeah. Illa. Hey, okay, it takes place in 2008. Financial crisis is the plight of like 1,000 mistakes. Up in Clifftown, it's hard to crack a smile in your face when you feel the pressure. You only thinking how to escape.
Miss Morgan is the dance teacher who we've had so many different versions of the show where we've involved her more, we haven't. We were just trying to figure out her place and how she and how her role connected with the overarching theme of the story. And there were productions where, I remember telling, D Woods?
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
At least I knew what I was getting myself into, and I knew how to massage and manipulate the situation as much as I could at the level that I was at, the leverage that I had.
D Woods is that's the homie. She did our production in Atlanta, and she was Miss Morgan. And I remember telling her from the jump, hey, this role is a work in progress. It's not done. We're still figuring things out. Please give me your feedback on it. And it sort of softened the blow to where she had context to know, like, when she's reading it, okay, this might be a little trash here, but I get it. They're still working on it. You know what I mean? Like, I just like to throw all of that out first, so but also let you know that I'm open to critique.
Coming to a theater near you. Yeah.
I think again, you being the empathetic person that you are, which a piece of your empathy comes from the type of Black that you are, right? And your experiences, your specific type of experience as a Black person.
Every time Black people want to have a good time, some ignorant ass I take care of my kids. Always want credit for something they're supposed to do.
That empathy is now expected to be the cultural norm, as opposed to before, years and years ago, it was, we wrote a script, here's the script. You want the role? You get the role. That's it. There's no other questions. I don't want to hear it.
One step towards courage, 2 towards the waters, 3 towards your lady, your son and your daughters, go and ride that away to freedom.
And if you complained or you didn't like it, you went to have a beer somewhere and you told your friends, man, that producer or that casting director, man, they were such an asshole that they told me that I can't even have a thought process on this. And now in the current age that we're living in, if you think that you can write a script or write a show or write anything, if you think you can do that and tell someone this is what it is and you take it or leave it, you have opened a wide open door for whoever that person's following is to come. And we talk about it in Nanabis, right? We go to the podcast for the tastemaker. This is a podcast in a basement of a person who just loves Cardi B.
Use code culture with a K for 25% off your first order, and no bullshit, it'll keep your girl's lights on. And if you're white, think of it as paying reparations and buy the shit anyway.
Yeah! The reparations line is a real nice touch. I feel guilty.
I bet you do. All snap, crack, and pop ass looking.
But this person is a tastemaker. Whether or not she's an expert at anything literally doesn't matter. She is a tastemaker. So if she says you're good, 400,000 people believe you're good. If she says we ain't fucking with you, 400,000 people say we ain't fucking with you.
We know a good word passing from the barbershop to the salon on the street is the best kind of marketing. And from what I heard, straight up, you're the Don with access to those kinds of blessings.
We're trying to help our Nana.
And in the case of this man 6 thing. And what we, as you know, me and Jeff, and you, by what you're talking about, Jeff and I have had so many conversations about these characters, because what we don't want to have happen is we get into the development of this and we stop asking those original questions, right? We become so set in what it is that we believe Big Bird is, right, that we forget those conversations that we had early on. Hey, is this like, did we write this as a Leslie Jones character?
Excuse me? I'm sorry. Is that how you think I talk? Is that your little impression of me?
Oh, I don't know. You know what? Man, part of me's thinking like maybe we should sexualize it a little more. Like maybe she could be like the funny, sexy friend.
You sexy vanilla muffin. I just want to play, yeah.
And then, you know, we go back and forth like, no, but it kind of feels better if it's like maybe like a non-binary character. Like how often do you give a role to an actor and say that you can kind of choose whatever you want to put on it? Like we're not going to say that this is that this person is a lesbian or gay or straight or is in love with this character and not this. You know what? Let's see if we write it non-binary and just leave it as a blank canvas. If we give it to various actors and someone drops into the words so well that we're like, dude, it's that person. And we did that. That's what we ultimately came to with this character is let's remove as much as we can of our bias about this character and let's just give it to some actors and see who lands on it. And the person that we found, this dude David Lamar, when the personality that the actor that is David Lamar brought, man, I am gonna have a hard time stripping his choices. And like if we get to a production meeting and someone's like, I want this person to play this role, they're gonna have to have an argument that's extremely good for why I, as the writer, don't want David Lamar cast as Big Bird.
That's your girl, Big Bird. I rock yellow and I'm tall as fuck.
Right. And I think that is what prevents what Daniel had to say about Hamilton from happening. Because look, you've worked with many of the Hamilton people, RONVE. I've worked with all of the big name ones. I was young, green as hell, accepting all information that I could accept, you know, having no critique of anything. I didn't know shit. I didn't even go to school for musical theater and I got this blessing. But over the course of time, looking back, and then I sent Jeff the Freestyle Love Supreme documentary on Hulu to watch.
A lot of the people in Freestyle Love Supreme are shaping what the American theater looks like now.
This was before Hamilton. Heights doesn't happen if it isn't for this.
Looking back at all of that, yeah, I can understand and easily see how this group of people who went from literal nerds sitting on the street in fucking Glasgow or wherever the hell they were, like just rapping, busking and rapping, little scrappy rappers for whoever to see.
The MC is going to use your words over a beat. Give us a word. Mascara, instant noodle, nail clippers,
camouflage.
I'm sorry, was your name Rambo? Were you in the army? Why the f*** you wearing camo? I can't.
How else would your brain conceptualize your life, right? You're not Ice Cube. You're not Snoop Dogg. You're not technically, like, if we want to get like super philosophically deep about it, you're not technically this superstar, like amazing performative talent level of the people that that garner the level of respect that it is, right?
Quit that. You a big cat? Where your chicks at? Where your whips at? Wherever you get stacks, I'ma fix that. Everything that's big dreams, I did that.
Your artistry, the way you write, the way you see things is that. But your that performance aspect of it, that's why it's embarrassing that anyone would say to RONVE O'Daniel, you don't understand hip hop. Nobody who has done Hamilton, I can say this with confidence, nobody who has done Hamilton has any more knowledge about hip hop than the man that is sitting here in front of me.
Music that I provoke, true shit that I wrote. I put in work for my folk, bet it inspires hope. And paint pictures like Picasso. Refuse to fix my life cause I'm not broke.
The first conversation that I realized I was gonna be friends with this dude is I listened to a Group Home album that morning.
Walk in the tunnels of hell, the next level. It's the nutcracker giving hell to the devil. Playing the game, the New York pain makes me wanna bust, but I just maintain.
And we sit at the station. We're sitting at the soda station, and I'm humming a song. And he's like, "What is that?" I said, "Yeah, I was just listening to Group Home this morning." He's like, "What the hell you know about Group Home?" Nobody knows about Group Home. That's right, because if you love hip hop, you know that. Lin-Manuel